please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. You're watching Power Breakfast on CNBC TV18. Well, yesterday was a good session actually for our markets. We saw some follow-through buying. The Nifty as well put on close to around 50 points. Remember, this is after they put on more than 130 points in the previous trading session. And the institutions, they were backing this market. Both the FIs and DIs were buying, buying stocks in yesterday's trading session. But it's a bit of a challenge today because the Dow has ended lower. But let's decode that, all of that for you. We have Sonia that joins in early this morning to run us through her analysis of how markets set up. Hi, Sonia. Good morning.
Hi, Nigel. Good morning. Yes, in fact, 2 days of gains for the market, and it's been led by the banks, right? We saw the Nifty bank gain almost 750 points in the last 2 days. But today is important, one, because it's F&O expiry, two, because we have a long weekend ahead of us, and three, because the US markets have been under pressure. So we don't know whether all these levels that we've seen in the last 2 days will hold or not. As you rightly pointed out, the money has been coming in. So both FIs and DIs bought this market in cash and in the F&O space. FIs bought 1,060 crores in cash. DIs bought almost 2,200 crores. And even in the F&O market, there was almost 1,300 crores of buying. In the F&O space, though, the 10,500 call option saw the most amount of call writing, and that indicates perhaps 10,500 could be a roof or resistance for the market in the very near term. It's important also to see if the Nifty holds above the 200 DMA, which it managed to do yesterday. However, traders may not like to leave their positions open ahead of the weekend, so you may see squaring off of positions today. Remember, the US markets were also under pressure. We saw the Dow fall almost 350 points. The technology stocks, because of the data breach issues, technology stocks were under a lot of pressure. S&P technology, that bracket fell almost 3.5% yesterday. And an additional problem for us is what's happening with crude, right? Brent crude continues to trade at $70 a barrel. The geopolitical tensions in the Middle East have given rise to some supply disruption fears. So that will be an additional negative. So for today, it could turn out to be quite a volatile session.
Okay, all right. Sonia, what about some stocks that we should be focusing on in today's trading session?
Well, of course, Fortis will be in the news. You just heard Ekta elaborate on the deal. But just to, give you the key points, it announced a demerger of the hospital's business into Manipal Hospital. This will create the largest hospital service provider in India by revenues. And as we know, for every 100 shares that you hold in Fortis Healthcare, the shareholders will be issued about 10.83 shares in Manipal Hospitals. Apart from that, Persistent Systems could be under pressure today. The company released a Q4 update where they said that they expect a quarter-on-quarter decline in their IP revenues because of seasonality, and this decline could be to the extent of $8 million, and that will impact their overall revenue and EBITDA margins, so could be under pressure there. Indoco Remedies could be in focus. The UK MHRA has issued observations which include 3 critical observations and 4 major observations. The company will resolve this issue. That's what they have indicated. Apart from that, you also have a couple of others. There's a listing today. Hindustan Aeronautics will list on the exchanges. Didn't get a great subscription, but let's see how that one lists. Avanti Feeds, they've started commercial production to add capacity of 175,000 MT at their shrimp feed plant. And there's a SEBI board meet today at 11 a.m. Our colleague Yash has been telling us how SEBI will discuss increasing the regulatory oversight on auditors, and also, the strengthening the algo trading framework. So a couple of those things will be important at the SEBI meet today.
Well, 3 months after the CBI special court gave a clean chit to all the accused in the 2G scam, the man who started it all with his presumptive loss theory has broken his silence. CNBC TV18's Ranajai Banerjee caught up with Vinod Rai, the former CAG, in what was his first interview after the 2G verdict. Rai said that his conscience was clear on the 2G case and asserted that there were no skeletons in his cupboard.
And when there are accusations being made against you that you were the political tool of BJP and as in capacity of CAG, how do you then personally, at a personal level, at a big macro level, eventually things will get evened out. But at a personal level, how does one deal with it? And what would your message be to some of the other aspiring civil servants who may have seen the episode and would have found it rather disheartening?
Did it matter to me? In what way has it changed me? Nothing. There was a road ahead. You have to be sure about one thing. that you don't have an Achilles heel. You don't have a skeleton in your cupboard. And if you are robust on facts, you are sure about what you are going to be putting out into public domain, you have nothing to worry. It's all people will see, if you throw a stone at somebody, he's going to retaliate. So we were aware of that. So there's no two ways about it.
So you stand by whatever decisions you've taken in the past?
In the past, and not only so, I've seen green shoots all over the country where people are able to stand up and say, don't give me an illegal order. You want to give me an order? Give it to me in writing. See, in a parliamentary democracy, the political executive is always supreme. He has to give an instruction to the administrative executive in that sense, because he's accountable to the people. But that instruction has to be within the confines of legality and propriety. And if it's other than that, the bureaucrat is saying, please give it to me in writing. So I think good things are coming about, and I can see those green shoots all over the country.
And then this, maybe you could go first, maybe with a personal anecdote of your, looking back, at your sort of illustrious career. I mean, was it at all difficult the last few months, especially suddenly, because civil servants are said to be impervious, immune from, from political, push and pull. But suddenly you became a political figure in that sense. I mean, how has it been? So end this giving me a sort of a personal anecdote on how you dealt with the last, whatever.
See, I believe...
Since the CBI court order or whatever.
I believed in doing what I was mandated to do and to doing it perfectly well. And I believed in doing it in the sense that accountability to myself, I was absolutely clear, my conscience was clear about it. And I stood by it. I knew that the moment you are picking on people, they are going to be picking back on you. I stood my ground, nothing much happened, things came into public domain, and time-tested methods were evolved, courts, this, that, etc. I don't think it has changed me in any way, and I don't think it has lessened the stature of the institutions also in any way.
Now, let's get straight to the mega CNBC TV18 exclusive story. We learned from sources that the government may start inviting fresh bids for the Maharaj in the next few days. Remember, the government plans to complete the divestment of Air India by the end of this calendar year. Sindhu Bhattacharya, who broke that story, filed this report earlier.
So our sources tell us that the government has decided to offload 76% stake in Air India, the airline, Air India Express, its international low-cost arm, and all of the 50% stake that the government holds in a ground handling joint venture called AI SATS. Our sources tell us that the expression of interest inviting bidders for the strategic disinvestment should be out in the next few days. The government is believed to have kept a criterion of 5,000 crore net worth for potential bidders. This could possibly mean that none of the Indian airlines qualifies to place a bid by itself, and it might require a consortium, to form a consortium with other well-endowed parties to be able to place a bid. Sources also tell us that the government may put in a condition where any successful bidder has to keep employees of the airline for 1 year after the disinvestment process and then offer a VRS to get rid of them. The government is also believed to have taken a decision on what to do with the debt. Remember, the debt on the airline is about 50,000 crore rupees, though some figures put it at well beyond 50,000, close to 70,000 crore. We are not sure what the decision on the debt is, but earlier we were told that it is possible that the airline retains only about 20,000 crore of debt, which is backed by airline assets, the aircraft assets. The government has also decided that this entire process should be finally completed by the calendar year. The expression of interest and the bidders may be finalized by June.
Well, all eyes will be on the SEBI board because they'll be meeting later today. Yash Jain joins us to tell us what's likely to be on the agenda. Yash?
Well, SEBI's last board meeting in financial year 2018, and the market regulator would look to end the financial year by at least initiating discussions on some of the very crucial aspects. Now, the most important aspect would be the discussions and the amendments which will really come on the insolvency and bankruptcy side. What we are given to understand is that SEBI is likely to discuss the proposal of bringing a trading ban as far as the companies which go under IBC. Of course, this has been a popular request from a lot of industry players and looks like it's also getting market regulators' attention now. Also, also what we're given to understand is that there could be a proposal which will be discussed with respect to relaxing the minimum public shareholding of 25% for companies which go under IBC, and also letting the incoming promoters hold and infuse more than 75% equity to ensure an effective turnaround of these 6 companies. Also, as far as delisting of the companies under IBC are concerned, there could be some relaxation as far as the reverse book building procedure is concerned. So that is as far as IBC companies are concerned. But coming to the second point, there could be discussion on regulations with respect to non-compliance of listing norms. We are given to understand that SEBI will discuss the proposal of giving more power to exchanges to freeze the promoter stake in these companies if they do not comply with listing norms, and also going to the extent of giving the powers to exchanges to initiate a delisting process if that non-compliance continues going forward.